Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to Planescape Torment. Last time we picked up a friend, Dakon. I don't know why he joined our party, but he did, so that's pretty cool. There's still a couple of people left to talk to, so that's probably going to be today. Who knows, maybe we'll get a new party member today.
I'm gone.
Okay, let's talk. We're going talking to people in this kind of vague shape. So Ilquix is next. And it's Ilquix. You see a short, rotund man with a perplexed expression on his face. From the lines on his loose skin, looks like it's not too uncommon. He carries a flagon of ale. It looks like it's in the process of being emptied rapidly. In between swallows, he speaks in a gentle voice, so quiet you can barely hear his words. Hello, traveler. My name is Ilquix. Can I be of some assistance to you? Greetings. I'd like to ask you some questions. What would you like to know, my friend? Who exactly are you? I am but a humble man with a slight flowery poetical bent and a tendency towards the supernatural. I regret that I have none of my supplies here, or I should be most eager to teach you the ways of power. Perhaps some later time. So like that. For now, though, I have some other questions. Who's that burning man? That is the last unfortunate who chose to exercise his individual will without the strength to back up his desires. His name's Ignis, and he was a pyromaniac. He burned and didn't burn the right people, and wound up channeling more raw power than he could control. Now, well, you can see what became of him. If you wish to learn more of him, perhaps a poor creature Drusilla can help you. Alright, and that's pretty much the start and end point of the usefulness of that guy, so I guess he's like one of the kind of characters where they didn't have a lot of ideas for. So that's cool. There's Barkus. Oh, we're going around to the other side of the bar to talk to this guy? Barkus. Sounds like a name for a dog. You see a leather-skinned man with just a hint of ashen color to his face. His teeth seem sharper than normal, and his eyes are filled with the boredom that comes with having seen too much. His voice is nasal and clipped. You again, eh? What do you want this time? You again? What do you mean? Yeah, you again. You got a hair problem or something? You're in here about 15 years ago, got all bubbled up, smashed the place, and left a pile of coin that wasn't enough to pay for the damages. So you plucked out your own bleeding eyeball and tells me you'll be back to reclaim it when you got 200 coins together. With 15 years of interest, you got about 500 coins. You got the jink, pal, I got your eye. That's a goal. I mean, we can get some by, like, signing those contracts and dying. And we already have a fair amount. So that might be a use. I don't know why we'd want my eye, but that could be something we go for eventually. I'm interested right now. Ask some other questions. I don't want to challenge it. Not interested right now. Answer some other questions for me instead. Who are you? He's gonna be the bartender. I'm looking for Farad. Turns and spits on the floor. Farad, you may as well just turn your back and let him sink a dagger in it. From the looks of you already have. If you're dead set on finding Farad, pardon the pun. Oh, dead set? Talk to Ebb Creekneys over there. He should know something of value. Yep, that old man? My thanks. Okay, so he's going to be useful. Let's keep going in order, then. So far these conversations have been pretty short. Let's talk to Elias. You see a trim, muscular man dressed in clothing that is comparatively drab and mundane compared to most of the outfits you see in this city. He carries himself with an air of supercilious arrogance. He also looks dramatically out of place here. What do you want? He asks. Who are you? I am Alias, warrior of renown. Surely you've heard of me? Let's be honest with him now. Can it truly be? Can it truly be that none in this town have heard of me or my exploits? Alas, I shall have to prove myself all over again. and here I thought my fame would spread across the world. What world are you from? I am from the city of Aliburn on the River Tame. Surely you've heard of its glories and wonders. No matter, no matter. This place is benighted and ignorant when it comes to the splendors of true cities. I am told that my land is what is called a prime by the denizens of the city. So a prime of what? I don't know. How'd you get here? I was chasing my old foe, the villainous life-shade Tyr Tanalel. He pauses, waiting for acknowledgement, and then continues. He conjured his demonic magic and opened himself a doorway and hurled himself through it. Before he could flee me entirely, I threw myself after him and found myself here. I don't know what it is. It sounds like an insult, but let's see what he says in response. I get it. You're one of the clueless. He bristles, reddening, and his hand clutches convulsively around the hilt of his sword. Clueless, is it? I take offense to your words, Sirrah, and bid you farewell in the hopes that we should never cross paths again. I just wanted to ask you... He turns away from you, still flushed with pride and rage. I just wanted to ask you some questions. Then be on with it, scarred one, ask and be done. I'd like to apologize to you. Let's do that here. He seems entirely shocked, as if notions of apologies is alien to him. You wish to apologize? That's what I said. Then, I suppose as a point of honor, I must accept your apology. Very well. In return, I offer my apology as well. Let us set the matter aside and speak no more of it. I don't know if he has anything else useful for us, so let's do that. It's good that we could, just backtrack and get ourselves good with him again. If I do this, and I'm gonna move here. Okay, so, Dakin will follow us. That's good. Alright, let's talk to Ebb Creekneys. Looks like he's talking to Kandrian, but he's supposed to be helpful for finding, what's-his-face, Farad. So, let's talk to him. You see a slightly stooped old man with a full gray beard and a lion's mane of gray hair. He wears a couple of shoulder guards as armor and he keeps a helmet nearby. He smokes a pipe and carries a pouch of tobacco around his waist. He looks pretty strong, but he's a little plump and also appears to have some sort of breathing trouble. Well now, aren't you a sight, lad? I've never really seen so many scars blanketing a fella, like a scarred cloak you're wearing. Where have you been, hanging out in Grain Thresher? He laughs. Oh, I'm just jesting with you, lad. No offense meant, and I hope no offense taken. I'm Ebb. He extends his hand. Greetings, Ebb. Let's be friendly. That's my... I'm trying to play, in good, because I feel a theme of, you're allowed to, you have to be the one to choose who you are as a person, so... It's probably going to reward playing good, so... I'm going to aim for that. His handshake is firm. Now, I hereby tender my apologies for the unfair jesting, lad. Hope no hard feelings. Can I buy you a tankard or two or something to smooth any ruffled feathers? I don't know what it'll do to me, but why not? That's the spirit, lad. Bide a moment. He rises to his feet and hands to the bar. After a moment, he returns to his seat with a pair of tankards. Here you go, lad. Drink up. He takes a massive swallow from his own tankard, puffs on his pipe, and says, "What can old Ebb do for you on this fine sigil day?" I had some questions about this place. Oh, well, I gathered that just to look at you. I mean, you don't look like you're from around these parts, lad. A little too out of sorts to be a seasoned native. So what can I help you with, lad? You need to know the lay of the land? Let's start out with that, yeah. Yes, tell me how the city and its environs work. Ebb laughs sadly. You don't think small, do you? If you want to know what's outside the city, go talk to Kandrian Elborn over there. That's the one you're talking to, right? I think? He's the traveler of this place. As for the rest of it, well, I can tell you the lady, the Davis, the keys, and the portal, so you keep track of time, the way the city's laid out. What was it you wanted to know? Well, I mean, I feel like he'll know more about, the specifics, so we may as well get, the good parts of the world building from him. Tell me the lady. Well, no, not many know much about her, lad, and I'm figuring even those that know more than a little don't know too much more. She's a mystery, she is, and even should you run across her, powers forbid, she's silent and deadly. She's not evil, far as I can tell, but she keeps it dark about herself and sigil pretty tight. None's been able to penetrate it, and if they have, they've been mazed. Mazed? What do you mean? Alright, sometimes bloods will be packed off to a place where they can't do no harm. The lady seal she'll take a bit of sigil and make a little dimensional pocket out of it, a maze. She places a set of crosshair in there and lets them rot. Now, you can't escape getting mazed once the lady sets her gaze on you, lad. She'll get you eventually, no matter how hard you try and dodge her. You'll be walking down an alley, about to step through a portal, or take a left turn down a street you've gone many full times before. And suddenly, you're someplace you don't recognize. Sorry, I keep scanning over the text as I'm reading and then losing my place because of it. Now, mazes aren't escape-proof. There's always a way out of each one, a portal the lady places there. You just have to figure out where it is and how to use it. Alright, tell me about the Dabus. Hey, those funny floating bloods that speak in symbols. What a piece of work, eh? The Dabus are kind of the lady's janitors and workmen, doing exactly what she wants, making sure sigil is running up to snuff, patching walls, tearing down old buildings, building new ones, setting up portals, scaling off others, and on and on. They're a pretty neutral faring bunch, and you don't want to interfere with one or kill one, or you'll bring the lady's wrath down on you right quick. Tell me of sigil time. The way we measure time in sigils by the brightness of the sky. See, we haven't got a sun and moon like most worlds. We just got this everlasting haze that brightens and darkens on regular cycles. What most of the folks call midnight, we call anti-peak. What they call noon, we call peak. Peak cinema right here. That's my joke for this. I'm too lazy to edit in the Martin Scorsese picture, but just picture that in your head. See, it's based on the peak and anti-peak of brightness. So when someone says something about 5 hours past peak, that's what they mean. It should be like, there's a better word for anti-peak, right? I can't think of it off the top of my head, but surely someone here knows it in this city. Tell me the city's layout. Ooh, let me wet my tongue. The city floats above an infinitely tall spire. The spire. It lies on its side like a discarded wagon wheel, but there's no spokes that connect it to the spire. It's divided into 6 wards, each of them with its own function. Right now you're in the Hive. I think the purpose of the Hive is to be squalor to the rest of the city's grandeur. He laughs. Factions, philosophical clubs, or gangs if you prefer, divided up the running of the city between them. Go on. The city's got the crossroads, the plains, and the city of doors in the cage. It's like the portals to all of creation, they say, and all manner of beasties come through here to trade, call kip, or hop from one place to another. Now, it's just a quick version. You'll have to experience the place for yourself. You mentioned something about portals. Sigil's called the City of Doors for a reason, lad. There's portals everywhere. Portals are... Okay, we already... This is just standard talk about portals and keys. Oh, there's so much. Okay, yeah, that's just... You can read that off if you want, but that's all info we've seen before. At some point you got... That's why I scanned through. Like, at some point... This game does like to repeat its world building in case you miss it, I guess. I guess that's keys and portals, so... Yeah. Let's just ask some general questions. Okay, first off, the other thing to ask, what other places can you recommend? Well, this is perhaps the best kip you could have wandered into from the start, judging by your tattoos. You might be partial to having designs on your body, in which case, there's a tattoo salon a little spireward from here. That's the one run by the Dabus, right? I think he's talking about. You want to stay away from the alley of dangerous angles if you can. Ignis torched up that place not long ago, and ever since, a bunch of bad bloods have set up their kip in that stretch of deserts. And so we need to ask now about... Let's ask him about himself first. Who are you? Ab Creekneys, third measure of the harmonium, now retired and being a tout with one's voice. I don't step as lightly as I might these past 2 or 3 decades. Now, lad, who be you and what trouble might you be in? A third measure of the harmonium, that's the first thing to ask. Aye, third measure of the harmonium, though I haven't served a tour duty in many a decade. Pushing a quill wasn't quite up my alley after the fights and skirmishes I've been in, so I just bide my time keeping tabs on things down here in the hive, helping out a little where I can. And you look like someone who might need a hand. Are you in some kind of trouble, lad? A few troubles, sorry about that. Oh no, well, I hope it wasn't nothing too serious now. Well, I'll leave that for yourself to say if and when you feel like talking about it. Don't mean to press a point now. That'll get you in more trouble around here than anything else, as I learned with that guy. Let's ask him about Farad. Do you know about Farad? Farad, Eb frowns, takes his pipe from his hand. Now lad, what do you be wanting with a burk like Farad? I think I used to know him. Aye, well, the more is your misfortune then. Mayhap forgetting some things is better for you then. What do you know of him? Well, I don't know everything there is to know about old Farad, but I know some of the dark surrounding him. If you're determined to track down that spider and nail him to a wall, I suppose I could spill some of the chant so you know what you're dealing with. Farad dug his nest deep in the Ragpicker Square not too long ago, and got a bunch of collectors and gangs together and started what one could almost consider a collecting faction, be that as it may be. Where could I find him? Well, lad, if you're looking for Farad, which I'd say is pretty barmy of you, you're a little off the beaten path. You want to be finding Ragpicker Square. Chant his that Farad said it was kept somewhere in the square. Even an old fellow like me who's been around the ring a few times don't know exactly where. I figured that Farad wants to keep the darker of his location dark. If you're all bound and determined to find Farad, go to Ragpicker Square, try to dig up Farad's location from some of the locals. Try and be careful about it, because there's plenty in the square you would make a gut heart out of you as soon as look at you. I'm missing a journal. Do you know about that? You're missing a journal. Was there more to the journal than just pages and words? Otherwise, I can't imagine too many bloods who would bother themselves with letters unless it was something really hot and spicy. Not much use for a book of learning around here. I don't know where you might find such a thing. But you know, lad, if Farad is one who scraped you off the Sigil Street, then he might know the dark of where your stuff is. It's most likely in his larder, if you ask me. A dead man's usually in no position to keep his possessions when the collectors tumble across his body. Didn't actually tell me too much more. We could talk to Kendrian, but honestly, we're kind of at session length, so we'll save it here. We just talked to a couple guys. That's how a lot of these episodes go. We just kind of got to get to terms with that. So, this was today. I feel like Eb didn't really actually tell us all that much, but it's fine. Next time, I guess I'll talk to the one person who I forgot their name already, and then maybe we'll wander around the map some more looking for Ragpicker Square. Especially now that we have that one submission that I thought might be time sensitive finished, so. Or we don't actually. We gotta go deliver the message to the guy doing the construction. Maybe that's something to aim for next time. But either case, we're calling it here. And as always, thank you for watching.